I have a beastly gaming PC, which can handle any game with ease. So today, I'll be putting my PC up against Minecraft, but not just regular vanilla Minecraft. I'll be using mods, shaders, high-res texture packs, and anything I can to try and bring this thing to its knees. Will I succeed? Watch the video to find out. First, let's start simple. With no mods besides Optifine, the default texture pack, while recording with no shaders, I'm getting about 1000 to 1100 FPS. But right now, the game is looking a bit plain. So let's add some basic color boost shaders. Now I have closer to 500 FPS and the game looks much nicer, at least in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie, 8 chunk render distance doesn't look pretty. I simply can't see very far, so I think we should change that. Personally, I'm feeling 16 chunks. There we go. And now I can see much farther. I should also change my graphics quality because fast, it's just not gonna cut it. So I think fancy would look much better. Although I don't notice a difference besides in FPS, of course. But I'm guessing there is a difference, maybe. I just haven't found it yet. So now I'm getting closer to 500, 450 FPS. But we can go further. I was thinking a new texture pack. You see, this vanilla Minecraft, it looks so pixelated. So I was thinking a 512 by 512 texture pack. I think that would make the game look much nicer. Oh, that looks so much better. I'm now using 10 gigabytes of RAM, but my FPS hasn't really changed much. Now I think we should get some new shaders. These shaders, they don't look bad, but they don't really look like shaders. Like, if someone showed me a picture of these shaders, I wouldn't even know that you're using shaders. When I see these new shaders, the first thing that comes to mind is why the heck are these trees wiggling? I'm still getting a few hundred FPS though, which is pretty impressive considering all the stuff we've done. I just kind of want to go for the most powerful shaders that I've ever seen. My graphics card is the RX 6800 XT, and it has one weakness: ray tracing. It has horrible ray tracing performance compared to Nvidia's RTX cards. So let's put on some ray tracing shaders. These shaders, well, they're pretty dark. The moon hasn't even come up and I can barely see. But oh my god, that's a high resolution moon. That motion blur is nice though. Now we are averaging about 100 FPS, which honestly is more than I thought I would. These shaders don't look that nice. Well, they get the worst performance out of any shader that I've ever tried. So I want to use them. Believe it or not, there's a way to up my shader's quality and in turn decrease my FPS. You see, this shader has a shaders options section. So if I theoretically crank up all the options that I can, what would my FPS look like? Before I show you how much 2 times render quality affects FPS, let me show you how it looks compared to 1 times. Right now, you are seeing 1 times render quality. Now you are seeing 2 times render quality. There definitely is a difference, but it's not very big. As a bit of a bonus, here is 0.5 times render quality. This is my FPS with 2 times render quality. Even before I show you, you can already see this game is super choppy. 40 FPS, but we can go farther. I've increased shadow quality, and the game feels a bit more laggy and like the lag spikes, but the average FPS hasn't really changed. But there's more. I now have a 64 chunk render distance. It's gonna take a while to render, but now I don't think that really affected my FPS. You know, this is supposed to like kill my PC. Like, oh my god, I have a 64 chunk render distance. My PC is officially dead. GG. RIP PC. Lasted only a few weeks. It actually hasn't decreased my FPS as much as I thought it would. So we have a high resolution texture pack, high resolution shaders. What else can we change? Well, we can turn off all our Optifine settings. Yeah, I turned up all my Optifine settings to max, and now I can really see some FPS droppage. Sometimes it depends on the direction I'm looking, but here, when I look over here, I got 30 FPS. But then I look over here, and I struggled to get 20. But I think the message is clear. My FPS is extremely low. However, it's not low enough to be unplayable. Now, this isn't completely unplayable, but most people would not like this.